must succeed. Let's make sure that history never forgets the name. Enterprise. Guard out.
Our lives are different to anybody else's. That's the exciting thing. Nobody in the universe can do what we're doing.
Greenville, I am calling battle station. Anything can happen in the next half hour.
Oh, hundreds and hundreds, but don't worry. I started a very long time ago.
Calling the War Council of Gallifrey. This is the Doctor.
You might say I've been doing this all my lives.
Good luck.
Stand by.
Ready. Commencing calculations. Turn me there.
Across the boundaries that divide one universe from another.
Got a lock onto his coordinates.
And for my next trick, I didn't know when I was well off. All 12 of them.
No, sir.
Ah! All 13!
Yes, indeed, ladies and yes, indeed. Now, look, I think it's fair to say that Matt Smith's 11th Hour was the best debut story for any Doctor, right? Coming out like a bit like a bat of a gate. I know, rabbit out of a hutch. I don't know what the expression is, but I was just watching that and I was like saying, well, that's Capaldi's first lines as a Doctor, right? Has anybody had better first lines? I mean, I said, well, Matt Smith had the best first story. Let's just go through it. I mean, you got Unearthly Child. It's pretty darn good. But Unearthly Child kind of like morphs into the Tribe of Gum. Really kind of, uncomfortably. Oh, so I got my system resources. Oh, I bet it's this website. Oh, dang it. No, hold on one second. I think I've got to try and isolate which website it is. Oh, yeah, everything's frozen. Oh, okay, here, fine. If I find the right page that's like eating everything up and close it down, it's all going to be fine, right? That's what I keep telling myself. It's all going to be fine, ladies and gentlemen. It's all going to be fine. Is it this? It didn't even copy. Really? Let's try that again. I know. Hang on. I think I got here. Okay, fine. Oh, man, everything's totally frozen. Like, I don't know. It was fine a minute ago. We'll try it. Doink. Let's try closing that page. Did that help? Come on. Dun, dun, dun. I mean, it's like it's getting the whizzy wheel to close it. No. Oh, bollocks. I guess I can get them all from history. That's what I will do. No. It did it. Oh. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, look, Matt Smith, best opening story. 11th Hour. I mean, it's not even close, is it? I haven't really thought about it. Power of the Daleks. It's not really a Troughton story. It's not really a Hartnell story. It's just kind of a creepy Dalek story. It is creepy. Weird story. It's not a Troughton story. It's not archetypical Troughton story. That they only really found his character, I think, after Underwater Menace. Because I think on the DVD, Rob Sherman makes the argument that because what's his name, the villain, his performance was so huge, right? It was so massive. Troughton brought his performance way down, right? Because it's the only way you couldn't be more, right? We couldn't outdo that, so he went way, and that really defined his doctrine. I thought that's a really clever insight. I think it was Rob Sherman said that. Can't remember who, but I thought that was a very clever insight, which I very much agreed with. So yeah, Power of the Daleks. Yeah, it's not really it's not better than 11th Hour. That is one pure hour of insane into Doctor Who-y entertainment, right? Every hour of that every minute that's perfect. I love that episode. That I love more. Anyway, so you got that, then you got Spirit from Space. No, not even no. I prefer robot to Spirit to Space, and I don't particularly like robots. So there you go. Castrovalva, actually, I think I prefer them to all of them. So I think I like Unearthly Child the best, then Castrovalva. I wouldn't have. I thought I'd go for that. What's after Castrovalva? Robot, I guess. Then Spearhead from Space and Power of the Darkness right at the bottom. Wow. I don't know. I think Power of the Darkness is about Spirit from Space. Okay, fine. Oh god, Twin Dilemmas, awful. That's at the bottom. Okay, sorry. Who was at the bottom just now? Not Terror of the Autons, Spirit from Space. Right? No. Twin Dilemmas at the bottom. Love the TV movie, the one and only appearance. So yeah, that's a debut story. That's at the top. I'm sorry, that went wow. That just blew Castrovalva out the water. Quite rightly so. It's much better than Castrovalva. Castrovalva was only marginally better than Robot. Marginally. So then you have Old Time the Run is also shit. God bless them. They were trying their hardest, but it was shit. I like the idea of the Lacurtians running with their arms behind them. That's a bad idea. That was a bad idea, right? That's one of many bad ideas I had. But it was shit. Not as bad as what's it called again? Twin Dilemma. Oh God, that's awful. Oh, I feel so bad for Colin. I really do. It really makes me feel bad for him. Okay, so TV movies at the top. Yeah, I should be writing this down, obviously. So then we have Rose. I prefer the TV movie. A TV movie Rose. Okay, that's the top two right then. And then we have Christmas Invasion. I didn't really like Christmas Invasion. Look, I'll be frank. And I think this is colored by my current feelings towards David Tennant, which is like, his twattery is off the scale, right? He is twat times a billion right now. Oh my God. I never really liked his Doctor. I didn't like his first season of the Doctor. I thought it was too silly. It just didn't work for me. I thought, but paradoxically, I thought Doctor Who was very, 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 very good. Right? Yeah, I thought he was one of the weakest things there. But I thought Doctor Who during his time was fucking awesome. Right? Just firing on all cylinders. Like, just enjoying being alive. Right? Just like, right? Really happy. It was a really happy time. Right? But David Tennant, didn't really do it for me. Now, Matt Smith did. Right? And, it still had a lot of the joy, right, of the Tennant years. So that's why I'm hands down for the Matt Smith years, right? So anyway, you had Christmas Invasion. Also, he was hardly bloody in it. I mean, you want to say his debut story was really New Earth? All right, was it called New Earth? I can't remember. That was the first place he went, wasn't it, with Rose? Because I like the beginning of that, right? When it felt like it was I'll play the scene, because actually, if it's a good scene. Over here. Dun, dun, dun. Weird fact, this, okay? Weird fact. My streams always get blocked in Russia and Belarus because of the Jerry Anderson music. Like, that had Stingray on at the beginning, right? It's blocked in Russia. It's the weirdest thing. Vlad, I understand you want to secure, you want to have secure trade routes, right, for your economy, which is essentially what the Ukraine war is all about, right? I understand that, right? But what you got against me playing Jerry Anderson? What's going on with that? New Earth. Oh, New Earth also feels like here. What's that? There's a great little scene in it. Oh, pre-title scene. Even better, right? Because they're like, it does kind of set up. This feels like his first story, because it's hardly in his first story. Yeah, doesn't this feel like the new Doctor? It's not like I dislike him. I don't get it. I've always thought it just never really worked for me. right? I don't know. Did you just see? I don't know. Well, Matt Smith always really did.
Everything, don't worry, be careful. And you'll have to call Mo about that.
See what I mean about being a happy time? Listen to the music, right? That Marigold incidental, it's so happy, right? It is such a happy freaking time, right? Doctor firing on all cylinders.
Oh, never mind.
Apart from the Doctor.
Okay, I'm going now. I love you. Love you. Love you. I love you.
And he's playing it right. I can't fault his performance, right? I'm looking, going, what I don't buy it back, but I didn't buy it back then either. I really didn't warm up to him. I bought Christopher Eccleston. Actually, I wasn't sure about Christopher Eccleston. I finally kind of like dug him when we got to. I like the Celine two-part. I thought that was really good, but I thought he really found his character. I thought he was like feeling around for his character, and he nearly had it. But I think, but he said he found it, which was with the Stephen Moffat two-parter, the Empty Child, right? Right, yeah, I think he really. I was really in love with him by the time they killed him off. I was like, oh shit! So I was miffed, right? I was miffed. Look at the camera work as well. Just the joy, like seeping out of it.
Love you.
Yeah, I'm leaving you now, darling.
Bye.
I like all of this. I don't really like him. I think, now I'm imagining if I can AI swap him with who do I always want to play the Doctor? What's this guy's name? What's the bloody guy's name? What's it? Well, I'm trying to think of it. It's I'm totally blank, right? I'm totally blank here. I'll look up something I know he was in. Patterson Joseph, right? Right, a 2005 Patterson Joseph would have been perfect. Yeah, let me see a picture of him from 2005. He was in Peep Show a lot at the time. He's a great actor. Let's have a look. Patterson Joseph, 2005. Images. He looks like he's being a bit too smug here. It doesn't really work. But he's such a great actor. You know who he is if you know who he is. He was in one of my favorite shows, The Leftovers, which I can't imagine anybody else liking. He's a really smart actor, right? Here's a picture from Neverwhere. Again, no, it looks like he's trying to put it on there. I think he's a bit old for the role now, sadly. This one looks a little bit less poncy than the rest. I don't know. He's got a lot of poncy pictures. I'm trying to show him in a good light. Yeah, 1 second. Where am I? I go over here. Share screen. Him. If I could AI swap him for Tennant, I think I might really like it. Yeah, at one time I said that I can't remember his name. Was Mickey? I'm thinking Trevor Noah, but I know it's not him at all. I'm looking it up because I've actually spoken to him. Now I'm really embarrassed because he's such an accomplished, I wouldn't say actor, writer, everything, right? Really, I don't like Noel Clarke. Oh God, Noel Clarke. First saw him in Alvita's Same Pet, and I thought it was perfect, right? So I said he should show run and star in Doctor Who. You can see how I keep pressing the wrong button. You can see how happy it is by the how joyous the music is.
So where are we going?
Further than we've ever gone before.
Yeah. No, I love it. Okay, again, I think that illustrates my point very well. It was Doctor Who was awesome. Like, awesome. I didn't like the Doctor that much. So yeah, no, I'm putting what's the name? Christmas Invasion on New Earth, right? Which way we want to go. I'm putting let's say Christmas Invasion. I'm putting Christmas Invasion above Castrovalva. So that's doing pretty good, right? Christmas Invasion was better than Castrovalva. In my opinion. So then you got 11th Hour. 11th Hour is by far the best, right? But then you have the Capaldi version, Deep Breath, which was shit. Oh, Stevie baby, what you doing? Too indulgent. Stephen Moffat needs to be on a choke chain. Like, no, back, Steve. And if you do that, he's good. Right? He needs to be on real lockdown, right? As long as you can direct him, he's very. I've had hairdressers like that. Yeah, when I was in rabbinical ceremony, we had a hairdresser would come in and he'll be like, one cut fits all unless you told him what to do. If you told him what to do, he would say, oh sure, I'll go and do it, right? But otherwise, it was one cut fits all, right? It was 15 minutes too long, full of lesbian cack with a Silurian, right? We didn't need that. I understand. In the circles you swim, you want to be wet but then dead. I get it, right? Also, there's probably pressure from you from moron executives to do that, right? I get that, and I thought the balance was irritating in the Moffat years, still very watchable, right? I had no problem with it whatsoever. So yeah, I mean, look, am I going to count Woman Who Fell to Earth? Which that's at the bottom, obviously, because it's got Jodie Whittaker in it. The worst bit of miscasting I can ever imagine. Right, she's so badly cut. Then came Shooting Upward, miscast totally for Another Way. Okay, and David Tennant, I'll say miscast. I think they've all been miscast since Capaldi. What was David Tennant's first one? Fuck off. The Meet the Beat, Meet the Beat, fucking awesome. Queer Doctor Who, shit. That I have to buy into your bullshit non-theistic religion that women have penises. I suppose it makes sense from the point of view because they're so fantastical. They have magic powers that can save the universe. Was it any woman with a penis, or was it just Donna's woman with a penis? I can't remember. Right? Beat the Meat was very good, but no one's really interested in your transy shit, mate. That's basically I'm not interested in being in having to buy into your non-theistic bullshit crazy religion. Don't make that a plot point of fucking story, you fucking moron. Okay, and I would actually give what's the name? Church and Ruby Road. It's not at the bottom. Jodie's at the bottom. Followed by 14, David Tennant. Followed by who was that the one so far? I mean, is it Church on Ruby Road? Church on Ruby Road was certainly above that one. I found that and far more interesting. I might move that up actually. Is that better than? No, it's not better than Space and Base. What was I fucking saying? No, plumb, it's a 20-minute muse I just went on. But okay, but I think the best first film moments of Doctor Who was Peter Capaldi saying, "No, sir, 013." All right, that was fucking awesome, mate. You have to crop out. No, sir, 013. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, good evening, good morning. I'm just started. Good evening, guys, good morning. I hope you're all doing very well. I am going. I got a lot of rantage in me today, right? I do. I've got a lot of rantage. Not to talk about. I'm strangely optimistic about James Bond. Now, what do I mean about being strangely optimistic about James Bond? In that, the case scenario where it's they want to make good James Bond by being James Bond is not inconceivable, right? I would give it. Well, I really don't know. Okay, this is what everything depends on, right? If what's the name? The failure at Amazon wants to be a success, right? I think there's a chance they do, right? And I think there's a chance that the changing cultural tides may come just in the fucking nick of time for James fucking Bond, right? I know. Or is she genuinely like a card waving ideologue, right? That is the question, right? Now, Amazon on its upside, which, by the way, is strongly rumored that's where Doctor Who's going. I just heard that about an hour or so ago, right? Because Sony has a deal with Amazon, and so it might revert because Sony owns Bad Wolf, so it might revert there. I don't know. I have no idea. But James Bond, I think. Amazon, I should say, they have a good track record with the spy genre. In all fairness, and again, I understand they did Lord of the Rings, right? And they did it again. And I haven't seen the second season because I can't do it. I'm sorry. The first season was awful. Oh, it was awful. If you haven't seen it, don't. It's as bad as they say it is, right? It's work. You can't believe how bad it is, and expensive. Oh, we've had that with Doctor Who as well. Most expensive Doctor Who ever made, least popular. You might want to take a hint from that. But Amazon do have a good track record with the spy genre. They have Reacher, they have the Jack Ryan series. Both of those I haven't seen. Very well received, and I understand not woke, right? Even though the Reacher actor is super woke, apparently. Right. I watch Invincible. That's not woke. I don't feel it's woke. I think it's a bit dull, season 3, but I don't think it's woke. I think The Boys went woke for a season, and they have a propensity to what it wavers. I think the spin-off, the X-Men Mutant School spin-off thing, that I don't think that was woke. So, it's not like everything they do is shit. Right, so there is that going for it in its favor, and the spy genre. Now, the real question is, one of the questions. The real question is again: is she a genuine ideologue or is she riding a wave? If she's riding a wave, we're safe, right? It's the other question is, why did Barbara Broccoli and Michael Wilson step down? Now, everybody assumes, they were strong-armed, right? Or some nefarious daring do. I don't know. But what if? And again, I don't know if they had leverage, they would have used it by now, right? So I don't know what new leverage there could be. I mean, they're releasing the Epstein Island list, from what I understand. But I don't know what new dirt could they have? Who knows? And honestly, I don't know them, right? I don't know the Broccoli family. I know they were a family, right? So maybe they had a nice family dynamic, and Barbara Broccoli and Michael Wilson have had a normal marriage, right? And haven't fucked around on each other, right? And been awful. Maybe they actually have a real marriage. Who knows, right? And maybe they don't have any dirt on them. And it's not outside the realm of possibility. That's my point. It's that couldn't be. It could be. Doesn't sound crazy, right? Maybe. Okay, so apparently the riff was because the Amazon people called James Bond content. We're so excited for your content, right? And killed it instantly, right? It killed it absolutely. And they from the Broccoli's point of view, they wanted to do a cinematic franchise which I agree with them, will probably be a bad idea. If you want to do a cinematic spy franchise, they should really, you could launch different. You could launch like the Saint in the Saint cinematic universe with James Bond. That's like you could get away with, I think. So that has its own, and you can put them in the Saint, and that'd be kind of cool. But it's like it's a whole different universe, and like I don't think there's enough there, right? Really, to authentically. I mean, who wants to see a Felix Leiter movie? Not really. And you could, but it seems so false, right? It really does. Now, what I do think, look, if you want to have a second cinematic line, then old James Bond is the way to go, starring Pierce Brosnan, right? Like Silver Vault's Pierce Brosnan as old James Bond. Fuck me! I would watch the fuck out of that. Wouldn't you? Yes! Yes, you would, right? Yes, you would. And it's different enough they could differentiate it. That you want to have a second franchise, fine. Right, and then you want to introduce a sexy female spy, do that, and if it works, it works. I don't know, maybe would an Ana de Armas spy movie work? I mean, she's fucking hot. She's a good actress, and she likes being sexy. Okay, if the script is good, right? You've got to have who would be good to write that then? Who's done really cool spy stuff? I don't know. Okay. Fuck me. Ana de Armas prisoner. That would be crazy. Okay, that's a very good idea. You want to put, okay, you have James Bond and the Saint and the prisoner all in the same cinematic universe. Fucking awesome. I'm sorry. If you want to franchise it that way, I actually think it could work. Right, I really do. And then you could do like a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, like they come together, because then it's just fun and silly. But totally put it all in the same music. I guess spitballing, but again, that would work, I think. And I like my Silver Fox James Bond. That would fucking be awesome. I would love that, right? I would love that. And I would go to the movies to see that, and I would be excited by it. And I don't think it would taint the James Bond cinematic franchise. I think it would enrich it, frankly, right? And the other one's the Saint, the prisoner. They're different enough. They have their own identities. It doesn't take the franchise. That's basically, you got to go in. It can't come out of Bond, right? It can be added to it, I think. If it in moderation. Wouldn't you love to see like a Saint and Danger Man James Bond match? The Avengers. Can you put the Avengers in the... No, you can't. I'm sorry. No, I disagree. I don't think you can put the Avengers is colourful, bright, and very silly. Right? It's not Jason Bourne, right? No, you can't be... Well, you could Jason Bourne the Saint. You could Jason Bourne the Prisoner. What, me? No, Jason Bourne, but it has to be some like time-bending, weird shit like Christopher Nolan. Like I always wanted to rewatch Tenet because I had no idea what the fuck's going on. Right, like none, and I gotta sit down and rewatch it because I'm sure because he's a good filmmaker, for goodness sake, and the way he tells story with time is fascinating, right? He always does. I think his Odyssey movie is going to be interesting, and it's got Elliot Page in it, and she just kind of makes me want to retch. Anyway, don't wave your mental disability in my face and expect me to applaud. It makes me sad. Anyway, mental illness in your face. Anyway, if you want to explain that, but again, I think if you want to like take the James Bond franchise and split it out and make a money penny movie at Felix, that I don't think would work. Right? What I do think would work is a television universe with those cinematic characters. I think, especially with the Daniel Craig crew, but all the crews have been very good. But the last Money Penny, the whole backstory they had with him shooting Bond in Skyfall, she made her a really interesting character, and I would watch the fuck out of a TV show, like an 8-part spooks or slow horses like TV show, spy show. That'd be really good. Like set in and around London. I'd watch a prestige series Ralph Fiennes' M Show. Wouldn't that be great? Like him and Biff Tannen. Well, not Biff Tannen. Back to the Future. Bill Tannen. Wouldn't that be a weird thing? Wouldn't that be weird, right? If James Bond movie, instead of Bill Tannen, who worked in the Situation Room at MI6 with Bond, I'm trying to get Bond on the phone now, sir. Right? Like, what's Moneypenny's job? Moneypenny, get us Bond. Okay, I'm trying to get Bond on. Like, why do I need another one? I would like all that. Like in Galaxy Quest, where Scotty Weaver, her only job was asking the computer. Anyway, but I think you have a lot of scope for that and you could do a mini-series about the villain in the Bond movie entire end. I think that's really what they should have done with No Time to Die, which was way too long, right? And obviously shot to be a launch vehicle for Loretta Lynch's series, and which was clearly cancelled and reshot, right, and re-edited. But once you take the central premise, driving thrust out of a script, you can't build it up again, right? You can't put it back together again. Captain America, New World Order, same thing. Like, you can't put it back together again. Once you got to rebuild from scratch. That's real. Again, I hope people would get that lesson in Hollywood. Anyway, but you could have done like a mini series about the villain, right? So that like it ties it in. Right, there's a lot of scope for that, I think. Especially if it was on Amazon. You watch it on Amazon Prime as a lead into the movie, get you excited about it. That's a very clever idea, right? Also, I think they could do a television series, mini series of Bond, being very set in period and authentic to the books, right? Like an 8-part Bond Casino Royale series set in whatever 1955 or whatever it is. Right, with Bond being like who did he want him to be like? Noel Coward, I think. Right, something like that. Right, that'll be a really weird, interest. I mean, again, I think that'll be fascinating. I think you have scope for that. So anyway, they wanted to open up the franchise, which I understand. That's what they paid for. Maybe the Broccolis stepped down because they were given a plan that they liked, and they're like, look, we're in the fucking 80s. Maybe it's how old is Barbara Broccoli? I mean, she's clocking on. Barbara Broccoli is she's 64 years old. Okay, she's not clocking on, right? Man, Michael Wilson must be way older. Yeah. What's a sibling? I thought it was her husband. I had no. Oh, he's 83, right? Yeah, he does look ancient. And yet, look, they've been very good stewards of the Bond franchise. I was very opposed to Daniel Craig. I'm like, what? That looks ridiculous, right? That looks absolutely ridiculous. But man, he won me over instantly. The style of it and his take on it, I thought was excellent, right? I get, look, we're going to know with the casting, right? Bottom line, we're going to know with the casting. Bottom line, when we find out what their plans are, we're going to know, right? And then, I don't know. Look, there's a possibility they might not want to fail. And they have form of not failing. So I don't want to tell you. It's, I think you have room to be optimistic. Right, without being, insanely saccharine. I think you have room to be optimistic until we hear. And look, I always err towards optimism, and I'm often proved wrong. I mean, look, not with Superman. Right, I think Superman's gonna be fucking awesome. Right, I genuinely, I watched an episode of Peacemaker the other day, and it's awesome. I really look. James Gunn is a very good writer. He's a very good. What do you want to call it? Filmmaker, television maker, right? Peacemaker, he wrote a really unlikable, nasty character and made him... Again, he was unlikable and nasty in the actual show. I was on episode 5 or 6. I can't remember what it was. Right? Pick one at random. And then by the end, you loved him. Right? That's a very good writer, right? And he's always able to craft a good story with a beginning, middle, and end, right? I thought Creature Commandos was excellent, right? I thought it had a really good, fun vibe. And the characters, again, they took characters who you shouldn't like and made you love them. I think that's a sign of good right. So Superman, look, this stuff with Crypto is off the charts. His love of animals, right, is fantastic, right? It really is fantastic. Like in Peacemaker, he's got this giant eagle as a companion, as a psychic, eagly, right? And like he's sad in the episode, and eagly like tries to cheer him up by going, catches him a rat or something like that, and gives it to him. And it's like, but the relationship between, he really understands the relationship between animals and their owners, I think, for want of a better word. Right, and it really is repeat in all of his work. Quite frankly, I like the dog in Guardians of the Galaxy. He has that a lot, right? And I think anybody who has a love of animals is a good person. I just do. I don't think there's a kindness in you that makes you love animals. And if you don't have it, you don't have it, right? If you do have it, you do have it. It's really that, yeah. So I think I am very optimistic about Superman. It looks like, yeah, people are complaining about Nathan Fillion's haircut as Guy Gardner. Guy Gardner's supposed to be a dick. I'm sorry. It's an interesting take on him. But I like they got the full superhero universe as kaiju fights. I think. What's the name? Smoking Hot as what's her name again? Somebody sent me a video of her. Vavavavoom. What's her name? Here, 1 second. We'll go Lois Lane 2025. What's her name again? Rachel Brosnahan, I think, is her name. And again, she is super hot, right? But man, somebody sent me this video of her wearing a dress that was very, very, very hot. Here we go. Superman 2025 here. If I click, I want to, because I'm not going to be. I always spell her name wrong. And she also was able to convince me that she was Jewish in the Marvelous Mrs. Maisels, which was actually very, very good. Yeah. Let me do a search on the Googles. See if I can find that video. Because it was crazy. Is this? No, that's the dress she was wearing, but it's so much better in motion. Is this it? I think this is it. I mean, like this. You're going to thank me for trying to find something better for you, okay? Because there is a boob window in this thing, which is incredible. Is this it? Yeah, okay, fine. This was the clip somebody sent me. I don't know why it's top and bottom. It's really what you'll see what I mean in a second. There you go. Doink. Does it make? Is this meant for 3D? I don't know. But this dress she's wearing is incredible, and again, and she's wearing it very well. Shall we say Rachel Bros, whatever. Share screen. Doink.
What can you say about?
Oh, fuck me, she looks hot. I mean, again, that is just crazy hot, right? That's hotter than anybody has the right to be. I mean, and she's wearing it so well. I like that she wears that dress. I like that she carries it off, and I like that she enjoys carrying it off. I like a woman who enjoys being a woman.
Superman, what are you allowed to say?
Not a whole lot, as you can imagine. Although now there's a couple things out there. We released a trailer, so there is a dog. There's a super guy and an evil one. Yeah, it was so much fun. It was so different from anything I'd ever done before, and that's half the joy of getting to do what we do. You know, I got to. I almost
just keep talking, and keep moving slowly, darling.
Gave something away, and then I didn't. Oh my God!
Give it away! Give it away!
Really media trained enough for this.
Oh, give it away, darling. Give it away. Yeah, look, she's crazy hot.
Say it. It feels good.
You know, I got to do some things that I've never done before. Oh, you do know that I got to fly based on the trailer. I can say that. Got to hang from the sky at, 60 feet or something in a Cleveland hotel. That was pretty exciting.
Yeah, you know what else is pretty exciting? So, yeah, I am optimistic about Superman, right? I am optimistic about Superman. But there's reason to be optimistic is what I'm saying about James Bond. It might not be awful. There's some room for it not to be awful. Not Millie Gibson. This is, what's it? Sydney Sweeney. Sydney Sweeney obviously agrees. James Bond can't go woke now. I have no chance to be a sexy James Bond girl. No time to go woke. Or that Amazon Prime Kane creator girl with a British culture icon, James Bond. I guess we covered that now. By the way, I had two different versions of this thumbnail. I couldn't decide which to go. Well, I did decide, but this was the other one. So I will leave this. This is like the director's cut, right? They actually looked a bit too Bonnie and Clyde for me, right? Unfortunately. What can I tell you? We are, by the way, going to go back to that Radio Times article tonight because, man, I've been thinking about that, and I'm going to rip this woman at you arsehole like you wouldn't believe, right? Oh, 1 second. I'm just getting messages. What's going on? Let me say 1 second. Do I want any miso soup? Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Oh, let's go for yes, please. See, sometimes it's worth stopping and seeing what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes it's just worth it. It works so well. By the way, the food we had for this Sabbath was great. It was me and my wife on our own. Fucking awesome. We had Friday night. We had miso soup. And it was a good miso soup, actually. Miso soup, and then for the main course, salmon, like a teriyaki salmon with lo mein, with the vegetable lo mein. Was there anything else? I can't remember. It was lovely. It was really, really good, right? It was really, really good. And then for lunch, we had, this was also good. My wife made mushroom, but the side dishes were really good. Roasted broccoli with garlic. That's amazing how good that is. And barley and mushrooms. And we had like these steak fingers we had. It was really nice. But best thing is, the kid was home. Oh, mate, awesome. It was awesome. And there was a couple of things we really should have gone to. But we didn't want to leave the house. I mean, I left to go to synagogue. Right? But that was it. Also, my wife been making this stuff recently called jachna. Yeah, let me get you pictures of that. I've been talking about that. It's really good. Yeah, 1 second. And then we will get to the chat. Doing. Fine, let me share the screen. Don't worry, Sydney. We'll come back to you, Donna. We'll come back. Share screen. Doing. Fine. So this is like this pastry stuff. I know they look like willies. Okay, yeah. I mean, we're all aware they do look a bit willy-ish. But they're like these rolls of dough, and you like put butter in between them. They don't put margarine, but we thought butter would taste so much better. Anyway, so you roll them up, right? Oh, there you go, it's all done. And you the way you cook them is you have this like pot thing, and you on Sabbath you have a thing, you have a hot plate on to heat up the food because you're not allowed to directly cook on Sabbath, right? So for this thing, you have to keep the hot plate on the whole 25 hours of Sabbath, and you put this bowl. It's a metal bowl, and you put like old bread at the bottom, and then greaseproof paper, I think. Then the jachnan, and then you put some date honey on it, and then some more margarine or butter, right? And you just leave it for 20 hours. Fuck me, they're good. They're really good. Okay. It's a Sephardi thing. Like I am the Western European Jews, right? Not the so the Sephardim love it, and I understand why. And also, so we normally have those Sabbath morning when I come home from synagogue. Where are we up to again? 5. We're doing the chat. I remember 45 minutes. Then we're doing the chat. You know me. AJ again is here. How you doing? When is this started? Well, we started 45 minutes ago. Or 5 minutes, I said, in 15 minutes ago. Colin Archer says, how you doing, Colin Archer? Had a short YouGov Thursday. One of the questions was about James Bond situation. Oy vey. I mean, look, what's going against James Bond is how woke England is, the English establishment is, and they're pushing hard against Trump. But they're being mowed down by Trump at the same time. All right. And we're going to talk about this later when I talk about that woman's article. The Democrats are over. They're clinging on to insanity, and they were funded by this insane, fraud and abuse from the federal government. They found, was it 7 billion, 8 billion from the EPA, that's the Environmental Protection Agency, to go to the extreme left wing Stacey Abrams from Georgia, her campaign for environmental justice. Like they were like. So they've really turned off the font of all the money, right? And there was a fire hose. It was until they got there, man. It was crazy. So the first thing, they don't have any money, and secondly, they're crazy. They're absolutely fucking insane. Craig should have left us a Skyfall. I agree. Quantum of Solace was shit, right? And very disappointing, right? But then he had 2 good movies. He had Skyfall and he had Casino Royale, and he reinvented the role. They didn't really have anything to do after Skyfall, right? They deconstructed the character and they could have done one leading heavily into being James Bond again, which is what I think Spectre was. It was certainly what it was sold to be, but it just wasn't. It's fucking boring. Great opening titles, but opening scene, but generally speaking, boring as fuck. All right. That was D. How you doing, D? You're absolutely right. X-Men 577 is here. Liverpool was praising Matt's I Am the Doctor's scene last night. It is brilliant. Colin actually likes Robot. Well, Robot's not bad. PD Rich is here, doing PD Rich. What's all the cotton wool balls in the sky? And why is it turned blue? So winter is ending for you there. We have I went even molestation of the Daleks in May. Fuck me. I don't know what they're going to do. No, they won't have the Daleks in it. Darren M is here. Darren M. To do the space aids, it'll be, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Look, we could end up with Juno Dawson both being the star and the head writer of Doctor Who. So, like, you don't know what the fuck they could do. Right, you could end up with Judy Garland being James Bond. It could be bad, right? Let's wait and see. I think there's a big faction of BBC that wants to rest it, and I think they're probably going to win. I think there's another faction that wants David Tennant to come back, and they're going to lose, right? And I think the woke faction, which is all of them. I mean, if somebody wants like a super woke version, we got to be more woke. I think they're going to lose too, right? I don't know. It depends which. I hope the faction that says rest it for a few years wins, right? I really think that that'll be. Although I hearing rumors that season that is going to continue, but on Amazon. Wait and see. Maybe it would be better as a cheaper show. Frankly, it would be better as a cheaper show. I was the other way around. I didn't like Chris until Dalek. Dalek was good. Dalek was his, yeah. See, Chris had a lot of benchmark stories. Like it was weird in Rose. You're like, what's going on with this, right? And it just wasn't work. It wasn't right. I think he got much close. I think he got closer with the End of the World and the Victorian one, the Edwardian one. One with what's it called again? The one with the Gulf, the Mark Gatiss one. He got closer. I think it was much closer by the time he got. Yeah, I think Dalek is where he learnt what he learnt from the Slovene two-parter was very evident in Dalek, right? Right, there you go. What are we up to? For a female James Bond type show, Modesty Blaze! Incredible! That's the universe, right? That's the universe right there. And it would fit together seamlessly. It really would work. And then you could have one like crossover and it'll be crazy and fun, right? But yeah, that's the universe, not all just coming from James Bond. Karney says, interesting that all the spy shows you're mentioning are from the 60s. Well, exactly, they got to have the same vibe. I mean, it wouldn't like having what's it called again? Spooks in there wouldn't work, right? In the book, he's 30 minutes late. Didn't miss anything, darling. Didn't miss anything. Let me tell you. Just what really was waffle. I can't remember what my first 20 minutes was about. I don't know. Bezos is just a kind of monocle and Manx cat away from being a Bond villain. He is. He nearly came to it on my thumbnail, right? So it's easily pleased with some obvious features. Well, fuck me, Robert Payne. I mean, man, again, Exhibit A and B, C and D. Again, that she's wearing the dress means she's reasonably slutty, and she likes being reasonably slutty, which is hot. Oh, very hot. Not enough of it around, Daily. Not enough of it about. What was the radio 6 or 8 months ago? So Shooty Gut was leaving the series of season 2 for the end. I remember that, right? Peter Rich also made music. Well, there you go. Great minds think alike or fools seldom differ. Keep the whole blame for 25. Bet the energy companies love that. Everybody does it, right? Everybody does it. It's crazy. What they used to do, you used to get a piece of metal, right, and put it on top of your oven and have like as long as they're gas burners and have them on, and it'll heat up the metal because you can't put it directly on the heat. Uncle White Dead, thank you. There you go. Good show with Father Miller. Yes, they said, Connor. Oh, very good, very good. Friday Night Stretch, right? There you go. Fine. Well, I had a couple of nice things we can look at. By the way, here before we get to the nice things, my videos of late were Norbis noticed Doctor Who is shit. Are shooting Rusty Davis numbered? Yes. David Tennant, pure cringe BAFTA twattery. I love it. Meanwhile, 22. Oh boy, everyone's going to love our new queer era of Doctor Who, and anyone doesn't is just a bigot and can fuck off. I was going to say, we're going to get a whole new other audience anyway. It doesn't matter. Well, that didn't fucking happen. What else we got? Not my 5. Doink. Anyway, fine. So are we going to start with what's the name from Radio Times? Yeah, I think so. All right? I think so. Doink. Share screen. Amro's here. How are you doing, Amro? So I started reading this article on Thursday, and then I stopped to schmooze with Dan for a bit, right? We didn't go back, so it's worth talking about, right? Because first, it's written by a woman called Louise Griffin, right? Louise Griffin. I think I'm going to cut this segment out and respond to her directly on Twitter, right? 1 second, we'll go. There you go. Doink. There we go. And anyone, if you want to see the whole video, I'm sure it'll be in the link that you can see my entire rant. But Louise, darling, she probably won't like me calling her darling. Okay, fine. Let's start again. Right? Let's start again. Hang on. We'll get ready. No, nobody should about the darling. Okay, Louise. I read your article and I understand it's something you needed to be said. I think your points are based in fantasy and almost completely disingenuous, and I'm going to somewhat tear them apart for good reason. Your premise, as I understand, I'm only halfway through reading your article. Again, you want to see the whole thing? Come to my channel. That vulnerable minorities need representation so they become less vulnerable, essentially, right? So I'm going to start off with the premise. You couldn't give two shits about people who are vulnerable, right? You could not give two shits about people facing bigotry and oppression. Now, are trans people facing bigotry and oppression? No, they're not. It's not believing. This is a weird, non-theistic religion that believing that people with penises are women, right? You may believe people with penises are women. They may believe, and I'm sure they do in a lot of cases, believe that they are women. I'm sure they're convinced beyond convinced of it, right? I do not believe they are women, right? And as I understand it, all of science happens to agree with me, right? So I understand that you had some disingenuous studies go, oh, no. Generally speaking, people with penises are not women. That is not facing oppression. Shall I tell you what oppression really looks like? Hey, let's look at a video of genuine oppression, right? Oppression that I'm going to make a guess that you could not give two shits about. So who are the most oppressed people in Western civilization today? Is it trans people? Is it black people? Is it Muslims? Is it women? No. It's Jews. Are there trans-hating rallies of thousands, tens of thousands of people a week going through your central cities saying death to all the trans people? No, they're not. Are there massive rallies every week saying kill all the Jews? From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. You know what they mean when they say that? It means they're going to kill all the Jews. You fucking moron. Right? That's exactly what. And not just in Israel, everywhere. It's a genocidal chant. Right? I am sorry if you've been duped into thinking there is a Holocaust going on in Gaza. There's a genocide going on in Gaza. I'll address that directly. But here, I was going to show you something that you clearly don't give a shit about. So this is a really quite horrible video. This family. Her husband was already injured and kidnapped by this time. He went to defend their kibbutz when it was attacked by Hamas terrorists, right? They took more prisoners. They didn't rape and murder them. And again, the denial from people like you of what happened then is unbelievable. But more than that, what's happened since then? Are trans people barred from campuses by smug, self-righteous cunts who think they're somehow morally superior? No, you find that's Jews. Okay, watch this video. Look, it's got blood on her face. She's sobbing. She's fucking sobbing, and for good fucking reason. I'm going to tell you what happened to him in a minute. Look at her. Look how fucking dare I. Are you on her side? This is what fucking oppression fucking looks like, you fucking moron! Don't tell me that me not believing chicks with dicks are actually fucking women is a fucking impression! This is oppression! Look at her, you fucking superior, smug, moron, cunt! So, here's what happened to them, right? And this is going to really tie into your article quite closely. Let's put them on screen so we know who we're talking about. Hang on. There you go. Just want to use this is the face of the enemy to you. This is what oppression really genuinely looks like. Like, trans people are not oppressed. Gay people are not oppressed. Gay people can't stand trans people, generally speaking. So this is what happens to them. Now, her husband was injured, but he wasn't murdered. They took him back to Gaza, and they kept him prisoner for about 500 days. We as a nation genuinely prayed for their safe return and survival. The longer things went on, especially with this hostage release, the more that became unlikely. And then this week, their bodies were returned, right, in coffins. The Hamas made a parade of it, right, of giving their coffins back. Again, these are the people. Look, Louise, I have never met you. I don't know you. Judging from the article, you're a granola crunching, Guardian reading moron, right? An overeducated moron. Right? That's who you appear to be from your article, right? Because I have no doubt whatsoever that you completely and totally side with the people who say this is legitimate resistance. I have absolutely no doubt whatsoever. You say that Israel is performing a genocide in Gaza, right? Even now, I will say back to you, well, 45,000 been killed and 25,000 of them have been Hamas terrorists. That's a very good, that's not a genocide, is it? Out of 1.9 million, right? And you go, but 20,000 children have been killed! Well, again, a lot of those children were 19-year-olds with Kalashnikovs. But anyway, actually, they're more M16s. The military equipment they left in Afghanistan did filter through to Hamas, which is what made this raid possible. Oh, God, wasn't Biden a great president? Anyway, now, if the British military had performed that operation, how many children will be killed? How many civilians will be killed? Normally, they have a kill rate of 4 to 8 civilians per enemy combatant. The IDF have achieved the hitherto they seemingly impossible statistics of killing 1.3 civilians for every enemy combatant. That's in a dense, highly populated battlefield, whilst they're using civilians as shields. That's an incredible one, better than it. So I will say that back to you, and you go, but 20,000 children, you're committing genocide. Is it trans people are being called because it said they're committing genocide? No, you'll find it's Jews, right? Is it fashionable to applaud the death of Jews, the mass slaughter of Jews? Yes. Is it systematic governmental abuse? Of course. The police lets this abuse happen. Why? Because the Muslim community have said very clearly, if you mention rape gangs, we're not going to vote for you. And if you mention our anti-Semitism, our Jew hatred, we're not going to vote for you. If you don't support our anti-Semitism, we're not going to vote for you. I don't think this looks particularly good for the Muslim community, right? Frankly. But that's the case. If the British government does not support their anti-Semitic Jew-hating values, where this is legitimate resistance, right? And a hitherto unachieved low civilian kill rate is genocide, which again is the opposite of reality. Is defended and supported by your government. So this is what happened to this Terahir family. Their bodies were given back, and it turned out that it wasn't her mother. They gave a different body back. They didn't know who it was, right? I mean, how despicable. The father survived, right, and was given back earlier this week. He didn't know if his wife or children were alive, so we found out they weren't alive. And again, they kept their bodies, and they, again, people like you, Louise, you gloss over the realities of the horrors of October 7th. You say there weren't mass rapes, babies weren't murdered. Here's the thing: Israel is a very close-knit society. The reason why, I don't think the deep state probably works quite as well in Israel as it does in the shadows of, England or America, is because there are a few shadows here because there is everybody else's neighbor, right? It's like, so I knew first responders who went in there who were horrified, right? They burned the bodies, like in what They tied children's hands behind their back with barbed wire and burnt them alive in front of their parents, right? They cooked a baby alive in an oven, right? Can you imagine, right? That's what oppression looks like. You're fucking, chicks with dicks, aren't fucking oppressed by anyone. The the reports of what came back, it horrified people. They were sobbing. It's like career professionals when they found out what happened. Well, you know what happened to these three? They first they strangled the baby in front of the mother, alive, killing it, right? Then his brother, and then they smashed her head in with a rifle butt, right? That's what happened to them. That is what oppression looks like. So excuse me if I have very little time for your hand-wringing, because again, from reading your article, I guarantee you are the sort of person who supports that. And I also guarantee this. You say, we want to be inclusive. Oh, we want to be so inclusive. All right? Oh, so inclusive. The doctor would never side with tyrants and bullies. You are the bullies. For the last 7-8 years, people like you have had your boot on the neck of the rest of civilization, insisting we can't say that women don't have penises, insisting you are a racist and a bigot and full of hate if you say the basic scientific fucking truth. So I watched, let me see if this downloaded. This actually really fits in nicely over here. There's a Piers Morgan interview with Riley Gaines and Blossom Lord Co., a trans representative. To me, it looked like a Saturday Night Live skit. We're going to watch a bit of it. It's fascinating.
Donald Trump should stop booty clapping to Elon Musk and actually get something done in this country. And eradicating trans...
I don't believe this is a woman. I don't mind if they say they're a woman. I don't mind if they believe the woman. Right? In the same way, I don't believe that Jesus was the Messiah, right? Because I'm a Jew, right? Do I deny the existence of Christians? No. Like, would I be angry at Christians? No. I look at the similar values we have, and generally speaking, I like Christians a lot right now. But look at this fucking insane person.
People is not going to be it.
We all felt betrayed. We all felt violated in the locker room.
Riley is just a tremendous athlete, and it was a very unfair situation.
And to have a president who is willing to listen to us, feel entirely vindicated.
I mean, this is the weird thing. Like, just as supporting these terrorist raping scum, right? You hate Trump. I'm sure you hate Trump, and you hate the idea of there being women's rights. You won't address how the trans rights and women's rights coexist with each other. You say, no, they're only women. Trans women are women, trans women are women. Excuse me, a lot of women don't think so.
There are only two genders, male and female.
Now, this is what, you may not like it, 99.999% of the world thinks. I'm sorry, your little bubble has told you that there are many genders. It's not true. Anyway, let's scoot forward. Like, anytime when they're talking together, it's fascinating, right?
Clarity and decisiveness is, I just feel...
No, let's go a little bit into it. It's just, the more they talk, the more
Donald Trump is a moron. What 20-year-old girl wants to be called transphobic or any of the slurs that have...
Yeah, this is the bullying we've all experienced. Who wants to be called a Nazi, right? Who wants to be called a Nazi?
Been thrown my way. I can certainly attest to.
Riley, I think you're trying to, Riley, I think you're just trying to make it seem like that trans people are a threat to cis women in the breast room, and that's not the case. Trans women and cis women should be coming together.
Yeah. Okay, one person has had women with penises in their dressing room, and one hasn't. Right, the ones that are not happening has had it, and the one having it not hasn't.
Trans women are not a threat to...
Okay, but here's the look. Okay? But Blossom.
And I think that y'all have ran on that ideology.
Yeah, Blossom.
Y'all have ran on that ideology
Blossom,
for a very long time.
hang on.
And you're going to have to specifically...
Right. They're going to try and talk sense to it. This is absolutely fascinating.
Blossom, tell me cases.
Blossom,
can you specifically tell me cases of
Time
where
out,
trans
Blossom.
women have hurt cis women in the restroom.
Blossom.
I'd like to know that,
Blossom.
please.
We don't use things like words like cis on here because no one understands it. Let's just.
Well, I use cisgender, so that's where I
I'm sure
come
you
from,
do,
and
but
that's what
nobody.
I like to use. That's in my vocabulary.
Yeah, but nobody else understands it. Let's just stick to my question. My question for you, which you
Well,
have.
just because
hang on,
you don't understand, you just don't
Yeah, he won't. They can't hear any questions, and they're crazy when they never answer a question. You're about to see insanity that you can't believe.
Intellectual capacity, Piers. You don't have the intellectual capacity to understand the terminology that I'm using.
Blossom, just to explain something. You're appearing on a show called Piers Morgan Uncensored. That means you can say whatever you want.
I know all about you, Piers.
Okay, you can.
And I know how you're good.
They got a side thing saying when she says he's a bigot or something, and he says no.
Morgan, when he said those racist things.
Of course you would
and Sharon Osbourne, hang on.
This is a whole side thing. It's much more interesting when they're talking about trans stuff.
But the moment Riley has the audacity to interrupt Blossom,
here.
Fascinating. Like so many people, you play that race card and you can't defend it.
Yeah, let's go back a little bit.
Her whole career was sent down the drain because, ironically, the race baiter was actually the black woman on that panel, Cheryl Underwood.
Oh, they have to beat her at this point.
Sharon Osbourne and not me. So I'm very glad you raised the issue of race baiting. But let's be clear, as you're doing now, the race baiting came from Cheryl Underwood to Sharon Osbourne, and it's now coming from you. So now you can respond.
Cannot be racist, Piers.
Now you can
Black
respond.
Women cannot be racist to white women. Are you kidding me?
Sorry?
Yeah, this is the insanity we're living with. Okay, I'm not buying into any of this insanity.
That makes no sense.
Sorry?
Black women cannot be racist to white women. Do you not understand that?
Oh, yes, they can.
You don't have the intellectual
yes, they
capacity
can.
to understand that.
Oh, yes, they
But that's
can.
very much
And you've been
impossible.
racist to me.
That's very much
You've
impossible.
been racist to me, a white man, by saying I'm a race baiter. Yeah.
How am I racist to you? I'm black. I can't be racist to you.
You call me a race
Are you
baiter with
kidding me?
no
You're
evidence.
Racist to me.
When have I
You
been
can
a
be
race
racist.
baiter?
You could be racist.
Again, let's get into the trap. This is as unhinged as what you want me to accept, Louise. Right? This is why Doctor Who has completely failed.
Piers,
I asked you why we separate the sexes.
Simple question. Why do we separate the sexes in sport? And again, I'd love this conversation. You inserting Jasmine Finney Ashley Evans inserting Jasmine Finney in Doctor Who, making her transness the linchpin, is I'm not accepting it, right? And so are most people. We're done. We're done being polite.
Decides this is outrageous. Okay, you can unmute her now.
This feels like an SNL. This feels like an SNL skit.
It does.
Okay.
It's preposterous.
Piers, I just want you to remember that Blossom said what her basis and perspective of life is rooted in reality. So please remember that as we continue this conversation.
Which brings me to my question.
They really believe this.
Which you haven't answered, Blossom, which is why do we separate the sexes in the Olympics?
Here's the thing. I'm not an Olympian. I don't play sports.
You don't know why we separate the sexes?
I think what you're saying is conservative propaganda. I think what you're saying is conservative propaganda.
Conservative propaganda?
That you're able
I
to
asked you why we said
the question. This is the why can't you answer the question? Because you, Louise Griffin, don't want the question to be asked. Because you know why you don't want this debate to happen? Because it's a debate that says this is insanity. Right? No one's saying don't be trans, but don't tell me I got to believe you're women. Don't tell women that the women's rights that they have won and earned and fought for over my lifetime can be taken away and given to people not in the group they believe is women. No, I'm sorry. The women's rights are women's rights. My rights are my rights. I have a right not to believe your insane, bonkers, non-theistic religion that can't stand up to any debate whatsoever and does whatever it can to shut down debate, and it's only survived thus long because its boot is on the neck of the rest of society.
Piers,
I asked you why we separate the sexes.
Off of that.
Why do we separate the sexes?
Again,
why do we have the Olympics
when we talk about trans people, when we talk about trans people, we're talking about gender identity. I need both of y'all mindset to become more.
Anyway, this just goes on. They also, she doesn't answer. She said they shouldn't separate them. Then she said they shouldn't They should have like the Paralympics also with them, right? This completely crazy, right? So, Louise, this is what you're trying to get me to believe, right? And this is the oppression you say it's happening. I've shown you real, genuine oppression, right? Oppression that genuinely comes from you and your sector of society. Now, let me ask you a question. You think representation is good, right? And they need more representation. I think that's imprinting your non-theistic religion outlook on Doctor Who. I don't think that's right or fair. I don't think you'd like it if it was another religion imprinted on it. Like, let's take Christianity, right? Let's say instead of being a queer show, Doctor Who wanted to be a Christian show. And I go, but Doctor Who's always been progressive. Christians view themselves as very progressive. There's so much, especially in the world today, there's so much charity, genuine charity. And look, Christians get denigrated all the time, especially by people like Louise, right? Denigrated constantly. I think most Christians I've met, I have nothing but respect for. Like, I love the Christian pundits I see in new media. I love their open, loving dedication to God. Right? I like that. Something I share. Right? I think something us Jews would do, us religious Jews would be better to have. Right? It's so let's say it was a Christian show, right? And they have a Christian minister or vicar who becomes the companion, and he makes has all these like Christian lessons going all the way through it, right? And at one point they have to go through Christian theology to do some story, like go see the Eucharist or something, right? It's like he meets Christ or something like that, right? You will be apoplectic. That's not inclusive. That's excluding you. You're excluding anyone who doesn't agree with your insane, non-theistic religion. That's Christians, Muslims, and Jews. Normally not groups that get on too well. I mean, you could just say Jews and say normally not a group that gets on too well. But normally not a group that gets on too well. All right? So I think the premise of your article is insane, detached from reality. I think it's completely disingenuous. It's I don't think you're an evil person, Louise. I think you're a vapid, empty person, right? And I don't think you have to remain vapid and empty, right? You could actually do real strength right now and say, you know what, I was wrong. If you want, come on my channel, we'll talk it out. I can't imagine going to, because again, I have very little respect for people like you who just so deeply rarely have the courage over your convictions, right? We'll do anything rather than have, and you move in most insane gaslighting. Like, I'm not going to let him make money off me. I'm not monetized. Whatever you want, I don't care. I'm just saying, if you want to actually have a real conversation, from this comment, from this article you wrote, I have a very low opinion of you, right? Not as a bad person, again, but a stupid person, right? A person that believes nonsense because it's fashionable. Somebody who isn't there to help minorities, as you've demonstrated, right? I think you've been very opposed. And again, if you live in British society and you're not Jewish, don't tell me that you don't swim in currents that hate Jews, right? We know this. You might say anti-Zionist. No, again, it's like saying, yeah, we don't hate Jews. We just hate Israel. It's like saying, I don't hate the French. I just hate France. I don't hate England. I just hate English. I just hate England. It's the same fucking thing. 98% of Jews are Zionists, right? Fuck off. It's like you're talking about all of us. Anti-Semitism always comes in attacks the most identifying symbol of Jewry in the world. That's one of the basic realities of it. Again, you couldn't care less about that. So this is me, the rabbi, calling you out, right? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll fucking apologize. Anybody who knows me will tell you that's true, right? But I'm not wrong. Anyway, so we never finished working. Yeah, this is imprinting your religion on me. Right? Why? I have no problem with somebody being gay. How anybody else lives their life is fine. It's no problem. I have my moral values, right? And my moral values are, generally speaking, biblical. And I would like, it's a much more innocent world that we and our children live in, right? And it's a better world for it. They're happier people for it, right? It's when I say innocent, it's much less degenerate, right? I find this degenerate, right? I don't think Doctor Who should be having this wasn't a love story. This was a sex story. This was Doctor Who really wanting to fuck someone, right? I don't think that's good, right? There was no romantic love in this whatsoever, right? You make a couple of points which are poor, saying that it's always been progressive, it's always been woke. No, it hasn't. Woke is your divine is being aware and attentive of important issues, especially social and racial injustice. You don't care about racial injustice. You are the font of racial injustice. Again, I gotta be saying this over and over again. You are the font of the most prevalent racial injustice right now. I don't believe that's not the case, right? Did you? Again, here's my question. Fine. So I asked you if you wanted it to be a Christian show. What about a show that's not Christian, but it lampoons politics you support? Would you be happy if they had a show having like Sadiq Khan, a lookalike of him being the mayor, being the villain, or Keir Starmer lampooning him? They should. Fuck me. I'm fascist. They're like lying little cunt. Unbelievable. The Southport riots were based on the basic understanding, not that the assailant was an illegal immigrant, but assailant was an illegal immigrant carrying out an agenda of Islamic terrorism. It turns out, no, it was just the son of a legal immigrant carrying out Islamic terror. Islamic terror was always the center of that whole debate. He lied through his fucking teeth. He threw anybody in jail who dared challenge his lie. Don't fucking tell me that it didn't happen. In record speed, these are political prisoners. Are you going to be happy with Doctor Who's comments on that, are you? No. Are you going to be happy if you lampoon Jeremy Corbyn? No. But who are you going to be happy if you lampoon? Oh, Donald Trump. That's okay. Nigel Farage. Oh, yeah. Take the piss out of him. Here's the truth. And this is a bottom line truth you got to understand. I've said this many times. A quote from Gladiator. It's people should know when they're defeated, right? Your worldview is defeated. I'll tell you why. Firstly, the only people the cultural leader is America, right? And the cultural leader said there's only two genders. And that's the way things are going to be, right? There's only two genders. The only defense you have against that is the Democrats, and they're never getting in power right now. They're not going to make any gains in midterms. In fact, they're probably going to make more losses, right? Let's look at this recent post by Trump himself. You know, the Prince of Evil in your idiot little mind. And I want to ask you. What's not factual about this, right? That again, they're in disarray, right? Oh, sorry, wrong thing. Oh, that's a very good video. You should check it out. I won the presidential election in a landslide. That's correct. I won all 7 swing states. That's correct. By the way, landslide is defined as landslide has always been defined in the past, right? The popular vote. That's correct, as it's been defined or every moment till now. And all 50 states shifted Republican. That's all very correct, right? A record. Now, by the way, let's factor in that the cultural influence that your worldview has is failing, right? New media is much more successful than old media for the simple reason it's more honest, right? And people naturally gravitate to honesty. Right, that's why Trump going on the Joe Rogan podcast is probably one of the things that won an election, because he had a 3-hour conversation where he appeared to be a normal human being, or like an okay human being, somebody not the monster that people insane like you think he is. Right, Kamala Harris wouldn't go on there because I don't think she could put it off. And also she had idiot advisors, much like you, who said, "Oh, he's a bad man. Don't want to go on bad man's." Yeah, that's why you lost. So, firstly, your cultural power is completely on the way, right? While it's conservative and their culture powers on the way. But much more importantly, you don't have the money that you used to have, right? The government fraud and abuse and thievery is over, right? Billions of dollars going into fund Democrat campaigns. This is why they're screaming, right? They go from one company to another NGO, eventually back to Democrat campaign. They're never going to win again. right? And they have an unwinnable message, which you're selling as well. You should know when you're defeated, right? A record, and I now have the best polling numbers I've ever had. This is true. This is all 100% true. The Democrats, run by broken down losers like James Cavill, whose weak mind and body. See, this is what I like Trump. This makes you crazy, and going crazy. And I just don't know what. And just don't know what to do. They don't know what to do, right? Same with your government. Britain is a laughing stock and embarrassment. And the more America soars, and it is. So, and you might not like what's going by. British are fucked off. They're not being consulted about the peace deal with Ukraine and Russia. And I think Trump's absolutely right. Fuck me. You've had 3 years and Putin's essentially a dictator. What the hell's wrong with you? Right? This is a needless war that shouldn't happen. Everything about it is nefarious, right? Everything about it is wrong and evil, right? And people are dying and dying. It's got to stop. You're like, oh, we can't bend our knee to Putin. Look, I'm sorry. You've got this fantasy that you're getting that Vladimir Putin wants to invade the world and control it. Maybe he does, but I think, you know what I think he wants? I think he wants a stable economy. And I think NATO has threatened his stable economy many times over. They're trying to he has a very strong natural gas business, which they're trying to usurp from him. That's always been the core of it. Now, again, is the invasion warranted? I don't know, but there is... this farcical nonsense you make up about, you don't even know why Russia's invaded, right? You've no clue why. You don't care. You don't know why, right? Let him end the fucking war. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry that you bought into this bullshit, right? I think if he has a stable trade route, that's all he fucking wants, right? Which again fucks over NATO. The other thing is, when Russia removed its troops from Eastern Europe, they said. It was done with the agreement that NATO wasn't going to move east and encroach on its borders. Since then, it's moved 1,000 miles fucking east. Ukraine wants the red line. Now, again, I'm not saying Putin isn't an evil dictator. I'm saying two things are true at once. You've got to get over it. Yeah, listen, there's got to be peace. There's got to be a stop fighting. You've got to live to fucking together. And I'm living in Israel and telling you that. At least you could do it. And again, let's not pretend that Zelensky hasn't suspended elections. Let's not pretend that you don't have Nazis fighting for fucking Ukrainians with the Azov Brigade, right? That's all real. That being said, I would like the war to end. I would like everybody to stop being. I like them all to live to fucking together and be in peace. Right? I think that's a good thing. I'm sorry. I don't think, quite frankly, the British, Ukrainian, or Europeans can be trusted to bring this to bring the peace there, and you've shown you can't be trusted by being so fucking useless and awful. I'm gonna go post all this thing on her side. Maybe I have. Yeah, I think I might. Shifting Republic, a record, and now I have the best polling numbers ever had. Democrats agree, blah 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 blah. They have lost their confidence and spirit. That's true, right? They have lost their minds. We are going to have big wins for this country. Yeah, listen. You've been freaking out for the last 6 weeks. Capitalistically speaking, this last 6 weeks has been a setting up. This happens every year, but it's setting up the chessboard for some great game that's going to happen, right? Which is, afoot, right? Whatever the plan of the year is. But that's what's been going on over the last few weeks, right? Again, you've got to understand you're defeated. It's completely over. Right, you have your morons in England that keep saying, rainbow flag. You look like morons, right? You do, right? People should know when they're defeated, right? Bottom line, people should know when they're defeated. We can win the country and make America great again. It's already happening, and we'll get bigger and better than ever before. Look, honestly, I don't know what's going to happen. I wouldn't be amazed if the IRS wasn't here in 4 years from now, right? I think America's going to be wealthy like never before for several reasons, right? Anyway, let's go back to Louise. You got to understand, you're defeated, you're broken, it's over. Your worldview is over, right? And again, and you don't care about racial justice, as I've proven, I think, very, very clearly. You care about looking good to yourself in the mirror, looking good to your friends, right? It's never been woke, right? Wokeness is look, the Doctor. The show has always depicted the Doctor against tyranny and oppression. That's you. You are the tyranny. You are the oppression. This is it. And I'm sorry. It's just two men kissing. Yes, this is offensive to a major segment of the population, much more than it elates. Why not? And again, we don't mind that two men are kissing and two men are gay. We mind that Doctor Who is fucking kissing. That makes a big fucking difference, right? If you two men want to kiss, go ahead. No one gives a shit. That you want to make Doctor Who gay? Fuck off. Stop instilling your weird, non-theistic values in Doctor Who to validate yourself, right? Stop bullying us, right? No one's saying don't be gay. No one minds if you're gay. There's literally no oppression that you are fucking facing. None whatsoever. Take down a few fucking rainbow flags. Oh, God. So then you say some stuff that never happened, right? In fact, criticism against Doctor Who has often shown why we need inclusivity and representation so much. Well, again, it's failed every time. The sexism we saw when Jodie Whittaker never happened. It never, ever, ever happened. I was supportive of Jodie Whittaker until what I saw. I was supportive of Ncuti Gatwa. I'll support Russell until I saw what they're doing. Right? There's nothing big. There's no bigotry based in this, and there never was. And that's a lie. People like you hide behind, which maybe you believe the lie. I don't care, but you do it to spew your own bollocks. Black Dog, homophobic claims against the gay. It's not homophobic. I don't want to see it inserted in Doctor Fucking Who, quite literally. Right? Yeah, no, I want to be able to watch it with my children. And I don't want to have to discuss homosexuality with a 5-year-old, right? No, with an 8-year-old, with a 10-year-old. There's no need for that, other than to validate you and validate you in insanity, where you feel gay people are under oppression, that you can't be fucking, openly gay. Not openly gay, openly heavily sexual wherever you go. You can't be openly sexual everywhere. Right? Sometimes you should have innocence. Again, all the Christians and all the Muslims and the 20 Jews you have left will all agree with you. Again, this is you inserting your religion in Doctor Who, and you can stop fucking doing it. Look, we were all fine with Doctor Who when it was very secular. Right, and believes in science. That was fine. Right, it never touched religion, and it was clever not to do that. As our culture progresses, or regresses, might be the case. We are regressing. Doctor Who should always have been a mirror of that. Yeah, well, it apparently is. That's why it's failed completely, because we're all sick of hearing about it. Cypher, after all, was responsible for holding up a mirror to society, to comment in it and help us see things through a different viewpoint. Again, no, you're making us see things through your viewpoint, and you're not looking, and it's a very narrow viewpoint, and you're not looking at anybody else's, and it's excluding, not inclusive. How do we know it's excluding? It's in the worst state now it's ever been. It's got the least profile now. We're having the most money spent on it, and having the highest promotion. It's in the shitter. That's why. Stop crying to me that what you think is real isn't. All right. The magic of sci-fi is being able to escape our lives. I would love to escape this bullshit world that you create, where everything's rainbow covered and the Superman has to suck a dick. Yes, I would love that, but no. I've got to listen again. You're insane, irritating, non-theistic religion, all constantly proselytizing to me, and that's not gonna fucking work. You're proselytizing to me, right? But what you're doing, you're proselytizing yourself that this is normal. It's not. Stop it, or don't and fail. Which is fail. It's listen again. I think there's 3 factors of the BBC bring back David Tennant, rest it for a few years, go more woke, right? I don't know which way it's going. Immersed in another world, which you've stolen from so many people. And in doing that, we can look back at our own world and our own society and culture in a new light, right? Yeah, again, you're doing it very poorly. And yes, that does mean your favorite sci-fi show, novel, TV show, and film or franchise is woke too. Yeah, that's why they're all failing, and that's why they're desperately trying to turn the ship at Marvel, right? They're desperately trying to turn the ship anywhere. Because it's all failed. All DEI programs are over. People should know when you're beaten. Let's reflect, society, that we're shifting away from this fucking insanity. Are you ready to reflect that? No, because you couldn't. Because you're full of shit. Everything you said here is completely full of shit. Random work too. All of them cover topics colonialism and water, gender, and LGBTQ from your point of view. The capitalism, the corporate greed, the technology, all from your point of view, which is why they've all been rejected, right? They've all failed. Star Trek, it's go woke, go broke. It's look, you're on your knees thanking God you got 100 million for Captain America, which did you really get on the worldwide domestic, on the worldwide box office? Excuse me. When before you destroyed the MCU with relentless wokeness, you're getting 800-900 million. Domestically, first week, and now there's going to be a massive drop-off, right? It's a total failure. Everywhere you've introduced wokeness, it has destroyed everything because we are done. Hold up a mirror to society as it is now, which is we have rejected you. Are you ready to do that? Or are you still holding on desperately? Because this isn't about reflecting society. This is about validating you. All have an awareness of wokeness of our culture and be able to shine light on humanity and society. It's quite literally comes with the territory. Exactly. How about iconic sci-fi novels? Dune, Left-Handed Duck. Well, Dune. The only problem with Dune was the woman played Leah Keynes wasn't very convincing. And I think that's because you cast a woman over casting the right person for the role. Brave New World. Well, I will say Brave New World that you hated because it did lampoon your social media algorithm driven view of your reality, which is puerile, facile, and stupid. Kind of TV shows like Star Trek, Star Wars. Well, yeah. Back in the day, Let This Be Your Last Battlefield, one of the most poignant examples of racism ever seen. Now, no one gives a shit. Right? Star Trek is in the shitter. Star Wars in the shitter. Woke, yes. Dystopian things like Hunger Games, Divergent. Well, Divergent was woke by kind of halfway through. I don't know. Yeah, yes. What you're doing, you're listing out how everything is woke and it's all shit. Yes, this is why nobody watches your shit. Yes. But we don't have a sci-fi penalty for being too woke. Well, actually, you do. What, mate? Well, you haven't had Star Wars be criticized. You haven't had Star Trek? Really? Quite as much as we hear about Doctor Who. Well, Doctor Who is so insufferably woke, right? It's so. I mean, look, he's wearing a fucking dress and she's wearing granny pants. For fuck's sake. As much as we hear Doctor Who, yes, we do. And the only reason we might hear Doctor Who is because it's not quite as dead as the other ones yet. But most prominent one comes to mind, and lazy excuse to jump to about. It's not lazy at all. But incredibly heavily scrutinized show. It's not lazy at all. Again, you've cited examples and saying that's what makes it good. But equally, that's what made people turn it off. You should know when you're wrong. You should know when you're defeated. Hold up that mirror to society because we're saying fuck off to your insanity. Fuck off to your insane religion. Wokeness and these excuse for signs that Doctor Who is sloppily written for when it shows ratings. Ratings show a small drop. What half 30%? Is that small drop to you? Really? What's a small drop to you? Like David Tennant got about 5-6 million. Shooty Gatway gets 3, right? On a good day, all right? That's a small drop to you. No, it's like 35% drop. and rumors about Disney partnership coming to an end and more. Well, again, why would they continue it? How do you think it's been successful? What metric do you want to display for its success? All right, none. Yeah, exactly. What is it? And it's not to say Disney isn't woke. They're in everything they have done is in the shitter because of wokeness, right? They're in real trouble. But again, I think this has been a lot of this non-theistic religion, this insane rainbow-colored religion that you insist we will have to adhere to, is been funded by money stolen from the US government, and boy is that drying up. Na 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 na, hey, goodbye. Yes, a lot of, again, you're going to see over the next 6 months a withering of this nonsense, right? That's why I think I'm still vaguely hopeful for James Bond. I don't know, maybe I'm just optimistic or full. But when Doctor is sloppily written, and when the rating small drop here, please. Disney does come to an end. It certainly won't be because Gatwa wore a skirt in one scene. Yeah, well, actually, yeah, 100%, yeah. You know what really killed Doctor Who? The first scene he was in, when it was essentially a gay masturbatory fantasy of a club, right? And every normie who wasn't investor enough, fuck off, right? And I quite like Church and Ruby Road. All right, I prefer it to, I went through this earlier. I prefer it to a lot of Doctor Who first stories. All right, I really do. I thought it had interesting potential. It didn't reach the potential. I'm very disappointed. Get what we're addressing once in a while because he kissed man. Yes, it is. Get this through your stupid, fucking, thick, elitist moron head. Yes, it is. Show me some, again, back this up with some kind of data. Or because there was a transgender character. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's why it's failed so completely. Yes, it is. I know you don't want to accept it. I know you're saying no, can't be. Yes. This is why the show is in the shitter. Yes, that's exactly why. And I'm sorry you are reality challenged, right? You should know when you're wrong. People should know when they're defeated. Because what's often, again, let's just recap so far. I've torn apart your notion that you care about social justice, rather that you're a racist and oppressor, right? Not out of malice, out of stupidity more than anything else, right? Again, I bet you said from the rivers to the sea, Palestine. I bet you have. And I bet you don't mind hearing people say it. So shut the fuck up. I bet you don't care about the Jews have been oppressed. I bet you wouldn't like there being Christian messaging throughout Doctor Who using the platform Christian ideology. I bet you wouldn't like lampooning Keir Starmer and fuck me. Oh, David Lammy. Do it. Okay. How much room is there to make a comedy show out of your front bench right now? Fuck me. Hilarious. Right? You could have the British government was hit with a stupid beam by aliens. It would all work, right? And it would be funny and we could all laugh at how stupid they are. Well, I bet you wouldn't like that. Now you're in denial of reality about why Doctor Who has failed. This is exactly why it's failed. Right? You need to, again, you just need to smell the coffee. And again, you may go, no. Reality, this is the way reality is going now. Donald Trump is very, very, very successful in America. People will like him a lot. His ratings are better than ever before. The Democrats are in free fall. J.D. Vance will be the next president and the one after that. Right? It's over. The money you had to support this is being taken away from you. Right? It's over. The money you had to support the political opposition is being taken away. It's over. You need to understand that. And you're just wrong. Doctor Who is in the shitter because there's a transgender character. Yes, it's 100% why. Because he kissed a gay man. Because he wear a skirt. Yes. That's why. And again, have I a problem with somebody being transgender? Go ahead. Have I a problem with being a transgender sci-fi drama? Go ahead. Make it, right? Go ahead and make it. But understand it's a niche show without a mainstream audience. But make it. That's what the BBC's fucking for. To make shows that won't support a mainstream audience. Go ahead and make it. I have no problem with that. But don't try and make Doctor Who into that, because it's not. And that's why it's being rejected. I don't care if you have gay people in the world. Let them fucking be happy. I have no problem. Honestly, one of the best dramas I think written in the last 10 years was It's a Sin. It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. But like, make a drama like that. Don't be a cuckoo trying to take over something else to shove your fucking moron, ideological, fundamentalist, religious, non-theistic religious insanity down my fucking throat. Because we spit it out and we stop watching, which is what's happened. Because what's often condemned as Doctor Who's biggest failing is actually its biggest strength. Well, no, I disagree. Reflecting our culture back at us and being so progressive and inclusive. Again, it's not it is progressive. It's more regressive, and it's not inclusive. It's excluding. Is the reason the show has endured for so long? No, it was never exclude. Okay, the Green Death never made people go, "Oh, if I don't think chicks have dicks, and then I'm a bad person." That never happened, right? That never happened. I'm sorry, I'm not buying into it again now, right? And again, Malcolm Hook, incredible communist lefty who got over really smart, intricate ideas through an incredible story. And I love that Doctor Who. And there's no contradiction in saying I hate your woke shit, right? Because Doctor Who hasn't been woke all the time. You're just an idiot looking for validation. There may well come a day when Doctor Who's future needs to take a break. And again, you know it's happening, right? That day has certainly come before, and the world will not implode. But I will not, under any circumstances, admit I'm a fucking hell. Oh, fuck me. You know, I was once, when I lived in Miami, we had our local, what's the word I'm looking at? Superstore. Food store, you know, like large market, right? B-Jams, whatever. Whatever. I can't remember what's the word I'm looking at. Supermarket, right? Across the street from us. We lived like these slum housing, but it was a good community. It was fun. And one time I was standing there, and an elderly gentleman had shit his pants, right? And it stank, and it was everywhere. I was like, oh fuck, mate. He, in terms of crafting an argument, that's basically where you are, right, Louise? Not doing well, right? It's not going down very well. Take a break. Yes, we know, because everything you said above is bullshit. But will not implode again. Yes, it'll be much better for it, thankfully. Last time it happened, the show endured and got because all you fucking weirdos will fuck off away and we'll be left with Doctor Who again. Oh, man, I long for the 90s. But that doesn't happen. Those who think wokeness and race from our screens will be in for a very rude awakening. Again, the BBC will hold on as long as it can. But you look like outmoded, out of date, religious fundamentalist weirdo. Right? That's who you are right now. It's over. The cultural leader is the United States. And has said very, very clearly, there's only two genders, right? And that's how the vast majority of the world think. Donald Trump is more popular than he's ever been before. He won on this agenda in a landslide, winning all the swing states, right? And moved the entire country red, or towards Republican. That happened. All of this happened. Won the popular vote, won the House, won the Senate, right? It was a landslide, and he's more popular now. Plus, the money to fund this stuff is being cut off. Plus, the Democrats are in disarray, and the money they had is cut off. It's over. Now, you might carry on in England. It does again. Juno Dawson could be the next head writer and star of Doctor Who. I have no go. I think there are three factions: go more woke, or continue woke, right? Take a break, or bring back David Tennant. I think it's down to those three options, right? Which faction win? My guess is the take a break option will win. I don't know, but I too like that faction. We'll take a break. Man, that was a good old rant I had there. Covered many bases. I feel like I quite like that. I do. I think I might post that entire thing to a timeline. I think I do. Because that's the kind of guy I am. Okay, I'm here. Let me share this. Where am I on there? I think people in the chat have been sharing it. I am on. Here we go. Over here. Doink. Oh, where's the screen? Hang on. Which nothing surprises me more than I'm somewhat optimistic about. Right? Again, how nice am I? Oh, thank you, Darren, for sharing the. Where'd it go? I lost it. Hang on. Oh, it's this Chrome tab. That's why. Doink. There you go. Yeah, doink. So I'm on here in 69 minutes. Oh, well, I'll tell you. 69, one of my favorite numbers. Well, only half true. I love the 6. Oh, the 6 all day long. The 9. I'll do the 9 to get to the 6. Don't get me wrong. But not a fan. Now 68 minutes. I guess we'll just have to settle the 6. So I'm over there in 68 of your Earth minutes. Expect more. Cyberville, Father and Frivolity. Back tomorrow night for more Cyberville. Okay, with that, I'm signing off. Hitting the end stream button, hitting it again and saying good night.